Well, this is the end of the dig. We've been at Bishopstone, returned to Rookery Hill in Seaford, and we've had the most amazing 5 weeks here excavating not one but 2 Saxon SFBs, and this that you're looking at now is the most complete one, with 2 major post holes holding up the superstructure roof and about 120 stake holes, although I've still not counted them on the plan because we only finished excavating these today. And as you can see, there's a concentration of them in the middle part here, and then over on this side, which is the south side, we appear to have 2 sets of post holes, 2 there, 2 on the other side. And if you notice, the chalk underneath is more prismatic and blocky rather than this in the middle, which looks much more worn and a trampled surface. So the assumption can be that there was some kind of internal structure or division that prevented people from walking in this particular part of the structure. Over here we probably have the doorway to the left of the large post hole there. This is on the west side of the building. A bit difficult to see because of the shadow. If I stand this side, you might be able to see there's the post hole. This is where I think people probably were stepping down from the side here, because we had this more worn, trampled surface. Here's the blocky prismatic stuff, which hasn't been walked on at all, and again in the middle you can see it's just a much more worn and not exactly weathered, but yeah, trampled surface really. So over on this side we also had 4 post holes in a row here. Whether this was for 2 separate looms, could be that the 2 middle ones contained a loom, as is often thought to be the case. And then maybe they used a bigger, wider loom and replaced the 2 middle post holes with 2 wide ones on the outside of it. You can see some of these stake holes are of different sizes, but in general they're about 10 centimetres deep and about 5 centimetres wide. All of these ones are upright. And if we just scan up here, in that direction is Rookery Hill, and just here Professor Martin Bell tells me was the finds hut from the dig from the 70s, which he directed. And I'll take you to the special hole now, which is here. Doesn't look anything special, but when we excavated this we found a yoghurt pot and a tin of paint, or the remains of a tin of blue paint, and we suspect that this was Martin Bell's lunch, and the tin of paint come from possibly from the man who actually had the finds hut delivered on site for him, because apparently he was fed up with getting cold and wet during the dig, so he had one of his huts brought down, and this man was a man who traded in paint, and apparently they did actually freshly paint the door blue, and we did find smears of blue paint on the surface when we were excavating. And I think that's a lovely fitting end to the story. We're now finished here. This is the last day. I've just taken the final photographs, and next week it's going to be dug up, but possibly half of it made into a pond, which will be the most unusual pond, I suspect, in Sussex. It's been a wonderful time, and I doubt very much that we'll ever get to dig 2 SFBs on Rookery Hill in Bishopstone again.